Welcome back to the show, everybody. It may be Saturday morning, but that doesn't mean we don't have a great show for you. We got Stuart Alderoty, Coinbase latest, and Brad Garlinghouse specifically addressing the Hinman emails and the SEC in this case against Ripple. Somebody roll this beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on YouTube and Twitter at the top of the screen right here. $1.11 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 3.7%. Good morning, everybody. We got a great one lined up for you today. 26,500 plus for Bitcoin, 1,700 plus for Ethereum. Tether market cap 83.5 billion plus, and we don't know how the U.S. government really feels about it. XRP is 48 cents right now, ladies and gentlemen, up 2% on the last 24 hours. But take a look at this. This is a reminder right here where you can get the best private equity in this space when it comes to fintech, AI, artificial intelligence, digital assets, you name it, it's here. And it never lasts long. Look at these that are fully subscribed already, and it won't be long before you see that with Polysign or Ripple. We all know their intentions is the IPO at some point. We could be days, if not weeks away from the end and resolution of this case, or at least a ruling to find out where the next steps will go. And I tell you, Ripple is going to be hard to get a hold of, and it's already started to happen. So don't mess around. If you want private equity, you need to click the link to underneath the video. Don't wait. I'm telling you, I've had it happen to me. I've had it happen. All right, let's take a look at this right here. Look, I need to start with this post very quickly here. John Deaton said in an article that there was two words that have been most redacted in Hinman's deposition. The community is definite about what they are. And you have to guess what those two words. And I said, I'm going to go with what is Lubin and consensus for 500, Alex. Having fun in my own Jeopardy way. And guess who liked the tweet? Mr. John E. Deaton right here. It'd be nice to see those redactions, but it sounds like to me he's leaning in, right? This is so bad. This is so bad. The posture, the direction, the way the SEC is moved in these Hinman documents. Look, is there anything criminal? No, but I can tell you this. I mean, at least I'm not a lawyer. What do I know? But I can tell you this, if you want to see the real effect of the Hinman emails, go look at the Ethereum chart after William Hinman gave his speech. Go look at that chart and watch it shoot to the moon and tell me that there wasn't some market manipulation that went on there when William Hinman had to pick up the phone and call Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum, before he gave his speech. Why not call somebody from Ripple? Why not call somebody that's a leader in the space, a developer from some other network, to get outside unbiased opinion about what he's about to say about Ethereum? Great questions for William Hinman to answer. And then here we have more concern here. Looks like that free pass is still valid. JP Morgan says Ethereum could be put in other category by U.S. Congress, other than securities, they mean. This is despicable. We know JP Morgan is really the central controller of Ethereum itself, and Ethereum switched to proof of stake, and nobody's going to have more of it than JP Morgan and Consensus, and they've got the biggest hand in Consensus. So, it's a puppet network. That's what we're watching happen here. Just like I believe, myself personally, that we're watching the discovery, what we have believed for over 2 years, actually be revealed to be true, that SEC, the regulatory agency, is under regulatory capture. It's despicable. Here's more that's going to get you upset before you get happy. We got Brad Garlinghouse for you. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want every single second of what he says in this video. But right here, we see Coinbase has got the fight in front of them here. And they say, we couldn't wait until our deadline next week to address the SEC's response to June 6 order from the Third Circuit Court. It is unusual for the government to defy a direct question from a federal court, But SEC's evasive response goes further, as we set out today. Now, I'm going to read the highlights. I'm not going to read all of this to you so you can breathe a sigh of relief here. But I want to remind you that Paul Grewal is a former federal judge. As we read this, the court should grant mandamus now because the commission has decided not to grant Coinbase's rulemaking petition and is actively harming the industry. The commission's refusal to say how much additional time it needs to act on Coinbase's petition confirms that further delay is futile. At a minimum, the court should order the commission to report on its action, not an anticipated staff recommendation, in no more than within 60 days and decide the mandamus petition promptly if the commission still has not acted at that time. We continue to appreciate the court's careful consideration. Again, this is someone who was a federal judge, is now the chief legal officer of Coinbase. He understands how this is supposed to go. He can recognize the runaround when it's happening. This is despicable what SEC agency is doing, and is absolutely to squash and stonewall the entire digital asset space. And you know what? And now, what do we see? Stuart Alderoty, Ripple chief legal officer here. An investigation must be conducted to understand what or who influenced Hinman, why conflicts, or at the very least, appearances of conflicts were ignored, and why the SEC touted the speech, knowing that it would create greater confusion. That is something that needs to be inspected by the Inspector General's office inside the SEC. And certainly Congress needs to do it from the outside of the SEC because it smells so bad. I don't trust the internal department of the SEC to take a look at this because they haven't for so long.
We have Stuart Alderoty, Chief Legal Officer at Ripple. He's now calling for an investigation after the release of the much anticipated Hinman documents earlier this week. Welcome to the show, Stuart.
Oh, happy to be here. Thank you.
And there you have it right there. I'm telling you, we need to see an investigation, ladies and gentlemen. There's no question about it. We are at a place where, look, you really have to get to a place where you have to understand. It's like, what kind of country do we even have anymore? Do we have one at all? Who's running it? Factor in what we understood and just saw and covered about Prometheum. Andrew Kaplan and everyone over at Prometheum. How is it that they're awarded a special purpose broker-dealer's license, knowing that they're directly backed by the CCP in China? This is despicable actions from that agency. Now let's take a look at this. Look, the end of this video, he says, as our lawsuit comes to a close, and I thought it was fight, but it is lawsuit, as our fight in a lawsuit, I believe it is. But however, it sounds like someone who understands that there is an end near here. Why would you be thanking us now if there was still another 3 years to go? I don't know. I'm speculating. Yes, I am speculating, and all the information's in. But I tell you this, quite simply, what I really want to say is thank you. Thank you to Brad Garlinghouse. Thank you to Ripple for doing all that you've done, not just for Ripple and XRP, but for the entire crypto space. And thank goodness they've had the resources to be able to do it. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse.
Oh, one quick second here. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. As many of you know, I don't often make videos like this, but then again, not every week has been like this one. A few days ago, after 2 years, 7 court orders, and over $100 million in legal bills, the Hinman speech documents, including internal SEC emails and comments leading up to this now infamous 2018 speech, they've finally been unsealed. Hinman's speech created new factors to determine if a token becomes sufficiently decentralized to no longer be considered a security. At best, these documents show that senior officials at the SEC couldn't agree on the law and told Bill Hinman directly he would confuse the public even more about the rules for crypto. At worst, they show that Hinman deliberately ignored the law, and he tried to create new laws, something only Congress can do. And while he was a public servant, Hinman received millions of dollars of payments from his law firm, which was part of an alliance with others that had a vested interest in this speech. This speech isn't about any one token or any one blockchain. This is about showing the extent to which the SEC has relentlessly pursued enforcement actions against crypto players while professing fake open arms and calls to come in and register, all the while lying about their so-called guidance. As some of you may know, Ripple spent years proactively engaging with the SEC. I personally met with Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman, with no lawyer present. Why would I need a lawyer if we were all coming together in good faith? We answered every question they had, and not once did they suggest to me that XRP was a security. We were fully transparent, not knowing they would then use this information against us. The SEC hit us with a surprise Wells notice, saying they were considering suing us for breaking securities laws, and still refused to provide specifics. To those that have recently been hit with their own Wells notices and lawsuits, this likely sounds all too familiar. When the lawsuit did drop against us, days before Christmas, a very Grinch-like touch, they made it personal. They sued Chris Larson and they sued myself, alleging we should have known all along that XRP was a security. You can now see plain as day, they couldn't even agree amongst themselves. And to me, it still seems like they can't. What we saw play out in our case is exactly what's still happening. The SEC is looking to kill crypto innovation in the United States, and its current chair, an unelected bureaucrat, I might add, is weaponizing the lack of regulatory clarity to exert jurisdiction over the entire crypto space. This is the definition of putting politics over people. It's the pursuit of power over sound policy. The SEC tried to bully us into acquiescing. Thankfully, we have had the resources to fight back. And now we can all see what they've fought so hard to hide. They knowingly created confusion about the rules, and they used that confusion to regulate through enforcement. That's bad faith, plain and simple. Ultimately, as our lawsuit comes to a close, for so many others, it's just starting. The fight for clarity has to continue. I just want to conclude by saying to my colleagues here at Ripple, to my family, my friends, everyone who has supported us over the past 2.5 years, and certainly to the whole of the XRP Army, a very heartfelt and a very genuine thank you for that support.
There you have it. And you know what, Brad Garlinghouse, you're welcome, and thank you for all that you and everyone at Ripple have done and continue to do. I know that this case is so important that it will begin to provide clarity for the entire space and not just Ripple and XRP. And I hope the judge takes all of this information into account, and I'm sure that she will, which is why it was unsealed to begin with for all of us to be able to see. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just sharing my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.